My name is Patricia, and I work for Marshall Grain, and I love working here. And today we are going to talk about planting onions. There's two different ways. You can plant them in a furrow, or you can plant them in a pot. And in a pot, you want to just stick your finger down into about just above your second knuckle. And this will prevent the roots from jaying up on you. They'll go down into the hole like that. And that's how you plant in a pot. And then with a furrow, you'll want to dig a straight line through. And then you'll lay the onions on their sides like this. And you can also mass plant them so that as these start to grow, you can pull every other one out and you'll have your green onion. Or you can just clip off the top, leave this in there to grow a little bigger to make it your scallion. And then you bring the soil up and over the onion. It went better the first time. And then you bring them up. And this also helps from the roots jaying. Like that. So this is your furrow planting. You're going to make sure you water in very good, moist, but not wet. You do not want them sitting in water. They will rot. After you've planted them, you're going to do your fertilizer. Is that the sulfur? Oh, this is the fertilizer. You want high nitrogen. And when you do it, don't pour it directly on the plant. You're going to want to pour it along the edge and let it soak in. There's two things about onions that will damage them is thrips. They're very susceptible to thrips. They feed off of the juices of the leaves and in the bulb. This is organic. It's the best for any type of insects, pesticides, fungicides, things like that. And as mentioned before, they are susceptible to blotch, which you've seen onions at the grocery store where they're kind of gray and moist. And that is due to overwatering. So you can also use neem. Neem's a good go-to, and most people are familiar with neem. Okay, do we have any questions on that part?
If you're companion planting with the onions, would you lay the onions first and then do your companion planting afterwards, or if you're growing a bed such as that where you're having maybe a pepper tree in between that or something, would you do it at the same time as you're doing your onions?
Yes, you can do them at the same time. Even if you wanted to plant flowers in between to designate which type of onion. Say you had red onions, a yellow onion, you can plant another companion crop in between them. Okay. Really just to designate which type of onion you've got. Yeah. Yeah, and if you want to do peppers, you can do peppers. Garlic, you can do garlic. Well, now that he mentioned that you can do onions from seed, but they take a year. They take a long time, and that's why people go with the start.
I thought they took 2 years.
2 years? Is it 2 years? It depends. Now we've got our onions, and we're ready to harvest them. The best way to harvest is to very gently dig around them, bring them up to the surface, and leave them sit for a couple of days until they kind of dry out a little bit. And then you want to put them in a cold, dry place in an aerated bag, like an onion bag or something that has aeration for them. It depends. You have your short days and long days. All the ones that we have are short days, so they're going to be anywhere from maybe 85 to 110 days.
A friend of mine once told me that the way you know they're ready to be harvested is the tops just all lay over flat.
Yes, ma'am. That is exactly correct. They'll start to lay over like this. I'm going to sabotage this one.
I think we have.
They'll be kind of a little floppy, and like they look like they need water, but they don't. They're ready.
Well, they should turn yellow, right?
I think they turn a yellowish brown just prior to.
Yeah.
I don't think of anything else.
When you're doing so when you're putting them close together, as you want to do
Yes.
green onions and stuff, those will be in about what, 30 days?
Yeah, like 30 days.
Can you keep on just like, instead of pulling it out, could you keep on cutting them and just still use the green tops for green onions, and those will keep on going, sprouting?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I really don't. I'm afraid if you just cut off the green part, that
It's not
going to get any nutrients to the onion itself. It'll just stop producing.
Okay.
But what if you just trimmed across it?
You could probably just trim, just like you do basil, kind of. You know, you just take a little bit at a time. You could probably do that. Now, if you let these get a little bigger, you're going to have like a scallion, and we have some over there that you can grow to a scallion size. And that is something I will mention too. If when you plant these and you see something that we didn't talk about, please don't hesitate to take a picture of it and bring it in. We have everything that you will need to care for to get you growing again.
Is there I'm a big fan of companion planting for everything I do. Is there any like ones that work best with onions that you would recommend to grow with onions?
As far as fruits or vegetables?
Yeah, anything across the board.
I would recommend herbs. Herbs would do really well with your onions, your thyme, your basil. Would be good. Or you can do even flowers. I mean, you could plant like marigolds.
Marigolds are in every pot that I bring outside. For sure, for everything, just to get out those worms, those little whatever silkworms are or whatever. And it's good for the bees as well. So.
Right. Yeah, they do. They love it.
Oh, they do.
You really don't have to worry about too many pests because they're not really going to go. And I would recommend planting garlic with your onions as well, because there is nothing that will go near garlic. So your squirrels, your rabbits, all of those little critters will go near your onions and garlic.
Can you dust around the garlic as well? Will the sulfur not have any residual effect on the garlic? Like they don't have any things with the onions with the sulfur dusting?
I don't think so. I think you can use sulfur for all your wettables, like it says.
How many onions are we sitting on?
I wouldn't put more than maybe 4 or 5. And then you could, when you start to see like some of them getting bigger than the others, I would pull the ones that are not producing and use as a green onion. Your green onion. Or a scallion, depending on the size that it's growing up to.
Will the frost kill those if they come in?
They shouldn't, but I recommend covering if you can't, if it's going to be a cold freeze. I covered my garlic just for those 2 days, and then I uncovered them. They were fine.
How much fertilizer is you put for those?
You want to just follow the instructions on the bag for 1 gallon, and you would just. I mean, you don't have to like. Yes, you can. You're welcome. And just like a tablespoon per of the solution. I wouldn't put a lot on, but you'll want to mix up the gallon and then just kind of do it along the edge of the plant or around, not on the plant.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.